So the other day I did a map ranking for Star Wars Battlefront 1 2004, and as promised today I'm going to be doing a Battlefront 2 rankings for the maps using the very same tier maker. So as a result of Battlefront 2 having bonus content, this game I think ended up with about 22 maps, so the majority of what is on here, which is a little bit mental honestly. And one of the bonus pieces of content was Bespin Cloud City, which in the previous video was at the Senate, and that is very much where it's going to stay because that is by far my favourite map in Battlefront ever. But I'm not necessarily going to limit the Senate now to one map, because Battlefront 2 for me has a lot of really awesome maps, like the Jedi Temple for example, which I wouldn't necessarily put up in the Senate, but definitely A. I think it could be very close there. I may change that at some point, but the Coruscant Jedi Temple for me is absolutely one of my favourite maps. It's iconic from the Nightfall mission in the game, and it's always fun just exploring the Jedi Temple with the archives and the different rooms and the council chamber. And that's something that I've really missed with modern gaming, is that we've not been able to explore like the Jedi Temple and stuff like that. So hopefully someday we'll get another Battlefront game or a shooter that includes the Jedi Temple, but for now obviously we'll just have to wait and see. Then we have the Dagobah Swamp, which is another fun map honestly. Like, I wouldn't say it's up there with my favourite, but certainly at the moment I would put it in B. I do like how sort of dark and swampy it is. They did a really good job with the cave and having Darth Vader's like breathing coming in. If you play as the Rebellion, you've got Luke's swamped X-Wing. As the Republic, it's an LAAT. And then there's just Yoda's hut as well, which is just really cool. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that map, but I wouldn't say it's up there at the top. Then it's Death Star Interior, which is 100% up there. Again, I'd be very tempted to put this up at the Senate as well, to be honest, just because of how much I love this map. Like the Jedi Temple, I think they did a really good job of just sort of packing in all of the things that you'd expect to see. So you've got the reactor control room, you've got the gun command center, you've got the hangars, the prison block, and you can even go in the trash compactor as well, which is just really cool. So yeah, big fan of the Death Star map and the Coruscant Jedi Temple. So I would be tempted to put both of these up there, but we will just have to wait and see. Then we've got Endor Bunker, which is again just the same as the other one. I think that was on, yeah, that was on E in the last video initially. I ended up putting it on D. I probably would put it on D for now, again, just for argument's sake. It, you know, again, it's nothing too crazy to me honestly, but I do like it. I'd just much rather play other maps over it. So then we've got Felucia, which is super fun. I probably put this similarly to Dagobah, where it's a really unique map. It's got like the big floral jungle stuff. It's a completely different environment to anything else we've seen before in these classic games. So yeah, definitely a big fan of what they did with that map. And then we have Geonosis Plains. So in the last video, I said I'd much rather play Geonosis Spire over Plains. I think that definitely stands. I do like this map though, and last time I had Geonosis Spire on C, and I probably would still say the same for Dust Plains. I'd just, you know, if Spire was in this game as well, then I'd, you know, put it in front, but obviously it's not. So yeah, Echo Base, again, gonna just put that straight away in C. It's the same map as before, so yeah, I'm a fan of it, but it's just nothing too crazy really. But I do, you know, with these maps, I do love the fact that you can play XL mode on them. So obviously that's where you just get like 100+ bots or something, so that is super fun. But in general, like excluding that, yeah, I probably would put it on C. Then we've got Jabba's Palace, which again, gonna just put it on D. It's a fun map. It kind of has what I want it to. It's just I'd rather play other maps compared to Jabba's Palace personally. I feel like maybe I am doing it a slight injustice by putting it so low down, but yeah, if you think about it, that was a good pun though. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it should go up in C, and maybe I regret my decision from the video before, but I'm gonna keep it there for now. Then we got Camino Battlefront 2, which I'm pretty sure is the same as Battlefront 1. I put that up in A tier last time, and I'm gonna do the same now. I definitely say Death Star Interior and Coruscant Jedi Temple are better than Camino, so I'm not tempted to put Camino up here at all, but obviously with these two I am, so we'll wait and see how that goes. Then we've got Kashyyyk Beachhead, which is a cool map, but I prefer the other ones. You know, I prefer Kashyyyk Docks and Islands, but obviously they're not in Battlefront 2, so I'd probably put that on C. All three of these maps actually are the only ones that you can play XL mode on, so it's kind of actually ironic that they're in the same category here. They're all just sort of big, open, with little cool features here and there, so I think that's probably why they're not as like high as these, for example. But yeah, then we've got Mos Eisley, which I probably would put in B tier. It's a good map. It's solid. I can't remember. I think I had it in B tier last time as well, not C. If I put this on B now and it was in C in the last video, that's just on me, really. But for Battlefront 2, yeah, I'd definitely say it's a B tier map. It's up there with Dagobah and Fallujah for me. And I spent so much time playing Hero Assault on this map when I was a kid. So yeah, definitely up there for me, I'd say. Then there's Mustafar Refinery, which is just instant A tier. Again, like, so awesome. I feel like I probably would be tempted to put that up there again with the Senate, maybe. Like, Mustafar as a map for me has always been one of my favorite things. The fact that it was the next map we were going to get in Battlefront 2 2017 is actually a bit heartbreaking because I love this map in this game. So yeah, like, I am very disappointed that we didn't get that. But in this game, certainly, it's just one of my favorites. I love being able to fight in the interiors and seeing all the lava spewing and just that general vibe that you get from the map. So yeah, I feel like it definitely deserves to be there. It's better than Camino, I'd say. Then we have Magito, which I'd probably put in A as well. And just in doing that, I'm going to move Death Star, Coruscant, and Mustafar up into the Senate, honestly, because I feel like I love these three maps more than I love these ones. You know, these two are big fans of, but these three are like, you know, love them. So yeah, Magito's really fun. It is definitely up there in one of my favorites, which is why it's A, but I just don't think it's quite there compared to these three. But yeah, definitely a big fan of it overall. Then we have Theed, which I'm gonna whack in C again. Like, it's a really solid map, but I don't really think it excites me a huge amount, honestly, especially compared to some of the others. I mean, maybe it would go up in B because it is kind of similar to these ones, actually. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I think last time I had it down here, but I'm gonna put it up here with Battlefront 2. And then there's Polis Massa. Polis Massa is a map that, to be fair, I think in my mind is a bit underrated. Like, as in, like, I don't rate it as much as I probably should. It's definitely very unique. I mean, to be able to play around in the birthplace of Luke and Leia was really cool, I found. You know, I love that it's got the exterior that you can fight in ships or at least in vehicles and stuff. So yeah, I'm just not sure it would necessarily go into B, or maybe it would. I'm going to put it in B for now, just to wait and see how I feel about it. Then we have Renvar, Harbour, and Citadel, which come in as a result of the bonus content. I'd say compared to, like, Camino and Magito and stuff like that, I probably would put both of them on the B list. Again, big fans of them all, but yeah, I'm not sure it's like right up there compared to those ones. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling about it at the moment. Tantive 4, I love this map. I probably would want to put this up here with the Senate. Like, Bespin Cloud City is by far my favourite map of all time. I feel like if there was another tier above the Senate, I'd want to put it up there. But I don't want to, like, you know, I could just move all of these down one, but I don't want to do injustice to these maps. So, like, Tantive 4, I just love this map. I've played it in VR on, like, Contractors, and it's so cool in VR. In Battlefront 2, though, in this game, like, it's always just been one of my favourite maps to play, for sure. You know, I love how different it is compared to anything else. The fact that it's just inside the ship and you get to roam around and see all these other places inside of it. Definitely a fun map. So, I definitely say these are my top 5 maps in the game, for sure. Then we have Utapau, which just easily A-tier map for me. I'd say I'd rather play Utapau over any of these ones, but not more than these. I feel like Camino, Magito, Utapau being in this, like, for me at least, just makes a lot of sense. So that is why it's there. And then finally we have the 2 Yavin 4 maps, which Temple is just going to go in D again. Like, these 3 are all in Battlefront 1, and you know, they don't hugely excite me as much as any of the other maps. Arena, again, I've not played it enough, so it kind of excites me a bit more in that regard. So probably will put it in C, but because I've not played it as much, I can't really say it's a B tier map. So yeah. So here we have all 22 maps then in the ranking tier maker. I'd definitely say I'm pretty happy with this, to be honest. Like, these 5 maps are definitely my favourite in the entire game. These 3 are definitely a step above these lot. So I feel like these sort of 8 maps are definitely, like, cemented in history for me. And then these could probably change around a little bit. But these 3 maps definitely are probably the ones that excite me the least and probably would stay there. But let me know what you think about this ranking in the comments. Do you think I'm an absolute idiot, or do you think there is wisdom to my words? Let me know in the comments. But that is it from me today. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.